Well, hello, and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot, the audio edition. This is the edition that is exclusively meant for people who want to improve their manifesting ability. We all have it, we all use it on different levels, but very often it is on a very shallow level. We're going to try to upgrade that for you, give you a little bit more power to the punch, so to speak. This is not your typical tarot reading. You're not going to get the typical explanations because I am focused on you and your manifesting ability. Period. Alrighty? So you're only going to see this one picture on the screen. That's it. Nothing else. I do not want external distractions. Anytime you are looking at a two-dimensional screen, laptop, desktop, smartphone, television, if it's two dimensions, you are automatically a spectator. You are not a participator. I want you on the field. I want you to participate in your own manifesting. So this is here to help. I'm hopefully here to inspire. Let's get to it. First card up front, in the middle. Last card in the back, in the middle. Those are the first and last cards of the reading. They're very important. Let's get to the first one in front. The oracle card in front is Observer. Fascinating. It is a looks like a fox looking through a telescope at the moon. He's sitting, I think, looks like an egg, and he's observing. That's a very powerful thing to do. Now, there's a big difference, by the way, in looking and observing. You look at television, you look at your smartphone. Most of the time, I mean almost all the time, you're never observing. Observation is a step or two beyond just simply looking. There's a participation involved. You are locked in on some level, emotionally, mentally, spiritually maybe. But observation is an active thing. It is not passive. And I have named this reading today, Taking a Pique. But I spell it Pique, and pique, spelled like that, means excellence. You are reaching your ultimate. And so we follow with that thought the idea of observing is an active process. It's not simply looking. For example, let's say you're on a street corner and you're taking a look at the traffic and people and whatever. Now you can simply look at it and go, oh, wow, there you go, people moving around. Or you can observe. See how people's faces are. See what apparently their mood is. See how fast they're going, how slow they're going. Try to create some sort of a scenario. That's observation, and that's what you have to do to reach your peak, Pique. So let's begin. On the bottom all the way to the left, we're talking about the King of Wands. Kings always make the proclamation. Wands are always positivity, enthusiasm. No halfway point for wands. It's either all or nothing. So the king basically is saying, go for it. You go for being your best. And the first step, observation. Don't simply look. That's what a tourist does. People who live at a tourist spot observe very often. Of course, it's amazing. I live right along Lake Superior, and after a period of time, people get so used to it, they almost don't even notice it anymore. I make it a point, because I walk 3 miles every day, I make it a point to observe Lake Superior. I mean, to really feel it, because it's a special place. That's how you have to do with your life and yourself. What that means is focusing your energy in a positive way. 5 of Wands is a lot of energy, because I said wands are energy, but the 5 is wasting it. It's bickering. It's pettiness. It's squabbles for no good. But boy, you're putting in the energy. And there's a lot of that in the world today. People fighting over stuff that they really have not observed. That is to say, well, I'm fighting for justice, I'm fighting for this, I'm doing this, and they never really observed where they were coming to that conclusion. And in large part, it's because, and it's obvious in the world now as you look at it, observe it, people have fewer and fewer principles.
Attention.
They will at any point in time make a change, make an adjustment to kind of fit in. So what they say is a value of theirs very often isn't. Very often isn't. Take a look at how many people today are just being absolutely quiet about what's going on in the world. Doctors, the medical system has been up to no good for a long time. Any one of them stand up and say, hey? No, very few. Lawyers, government, business, cheating, stealing. It's for the dollar. So when you have no principles, you're going to use this Five of Wands energy to defend something that you don't even know what you're defending. You're doing it enthusiastically. But the King of Swords comes up behind that and says, hey, wait a minute, think. King is an ethical leader. He remains unbiased. He remains analytical. This is what you have to do. You have to, if you're an observer, you have to be analytical. You have to be unbiased. You have to be seriously observing the little nuances that make a big difference. And the best way to do that, moon energy, your intuition. You can read a scene, a situation very, very quickly. Your gut talks to you. It's this gift that each one of us have. We just don't pay attention to it. Because we decided to go along with the crowd. So whatever the crowd thinks, okay, that's good enough. I don't like it. My gut is yelling at me, but that's okay. I'm going along with the crowd. But you're not observing. You are not taking a peek at your potential. Go up top, all the way to the left, Nine of Swords. Swords are thoughts, ideas, I told you. Nine of Swords are nightmares. Grief, despair. You are alone and scared to death. And it's all in your head. Not that bad things are not happening, not that there are not bad people around you doing bad things, not that. But your reaction to them. You're not observing. You've jumped in the soup. You don't know how to get out. Well, for the first thing you got to do, next card, change your thinking. Queen of Swords tells you very plainly, if you want somebody who's a clear thinker, boy, Queen of Swords is it. King of Swords may make the proclamation the queens get the job done. The Queen of Swords is perceptive, clever, realistic, straight talking. And not just with other people, with herself. You know, the most important conversation any of us can have is with ourselves. Be honest. Boy, that's tough. Mark Twain says it's easier to fool somebody than to convince them they have been fooled. And that's true, and that's ego. Ego. And a huge chunk of humanity has been fooled. Well, a lot more than fooled, but for the sake of the Mark Twain quote, fooled. And they don't want to admit it. For a whole bunch of reasons. Most of them very poor reasons, most of them based on money, most of them fake as can be. But in the end, next card, after the Queen of Swords and the Nine of Swords, we get the Ace of Swords. You can change your mental structure. You can become a real observer of yourself, your life, and how the two fit together, or don't. And the Ace of Swords talks about thinking clearly, honestly, justly. And the Ace of Swords talks about a breakthrough. Something will come to you over the next period of time. Could be 3 days, 30 days, whatever. We're in a gut-crunching time. For the next couple of years, the heat's going to turn way up. You need to observe. You need to take a peek at your potential. The way to do it, first step, love yourself. Ace of Cups. Because if you can't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. Our life begins and ends with us. You're looking for that perfect love in your life, you be the perfect love in your life. You're looking for kindness in your life, you be kind. You're looking for gentleness, you be gentle. But to do any of that, you must love yourself. And to do that, to know that you're loving yourself, you need this final card, Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles are things that we value, not money. I mean, I know a lot of people love money, but that creates all the problems. You know the biblical quote, the love of money is the root of all evil. It's absolutely true. Didn't believe it growing up. I believe it now. You see it all over the place. People will sell their soul and do for a buck. We're not talking about those kind of values. We're talking about love, friendship, honesty, health, joy, happiness, purpose. Those are things you can't buy with money. Oh, you could rent love a little bit, I guess. You could rent friendship, but that's all you're doing, and you know that. Can't fill the hole in your soul. The real values are the stuff that completes you, that fills the hole in your soul. Take a peek at your potential. Observe. Be active in your life. You can make all the difference in the world. That's the reading for today. Back again tomorrow because I do a brand new read every day, 365. I hope you're with me. If not, between now and the next time we get together, peace and blessings.